This segment of the news is brought to you by Finance of America. For all your mortgage needs, call Amy Childress or Shannon Keller at 702-372-6607.
Welcome back to News 46. Although there's a lot of discussion on how the prescription opioid epidemic has affected the U.S. adult population, how has it affected children and teens? A new study looked at how often kids and teenagers are hospitalized for opioid poisonings. The study in JAMA Pediatrics examined these trends over a 16-year period from 1997 to 2012.
This health tip is brought to you by
Desert View Hospital and Mountain Valley Physicians Group. Don't put your health on hold. We have time for you. Call us to schedule your appointment. 775-751-7100.
From 1999 to 2010, retail sales of prescription opioids quadrupled. And as more adults become addicted to these medications, more children and teenagers are also at a higher risk for opioid poisoning and misuse.
The opioid epidemic has grown exponentially. It really began in the mid-1990s when physicians were encouraged to do a better job of treating chronic pain. In 2014, there were approximately 19,000 deaths that were attributed to opioid medications.
Dr. Julie Gaither and Dr. Deepa Kamingay and co-authors reviewed the U.S. pediatric hospital discharge records of children and teens ages 1 to 19 from 1997 to 2012. They identified more than 13,000 children and teens who were hospitalized for opioid poisonings within that time frame. They also looked at 15 to 19-year-olds who were hospitalized for heroin poisoning.
We found that the rates of hospitalizations for opioid poisonings doubled during 1997 to 2012. We also found that the highest number of hospitalizations were among teenagers, ages 15 through 19. The highest rates of increase in hospitalizations were among our youngest population, which was 1 to 4-year-old children.
Heroin poisonings increased by 150% during this time point, and then very importantly, poisonings for methadone increased by approximately 950%, so almost tenfold in less than 2 decades.
Dr. Gaither and Dr. Kamingay say changes in how we prescribe, dispose, and package these drugs are needed to keep children and teens safe.
Our national conversation has focused on how to improve the treatment and prevention of opioid misuse and abuse. But we also hope that this conversation focuses on how to safeguard children from this epidemic.
Laura Berger, The JAMA Report.
The pediatric community makes up a quarter of the U.S. population.
Well, Fidel Castro's ashes have begun a 4-day journey across Cuba from Havana to their final resting place in the eastern city of Santiago. A small Cuban flag-covered cedar coffin containing the remains of the 90-year-old leader was taken out of Cuba's defense ministry just after 7 a.m. and placed into a flower-bedecked trailer pulled by a green military jeep for the more than 500-mile procession. The ashes will be interned on Sunday, ending the 9-day mourning period for the man who ruled the country for nearly 50 years.
Roy Mankins is saying goodbye to insurance and hello to real estate. He's taking a job with a local company after selling insurance for 30 years.
After working in the insurance business for over 30 years, Roy Mankins is leaving the business.
After 30 years, I've decided to retire from Allstate. It's been a long journey. I've truly enjoyed working for the company. I love my customers, but it's not the same world it was before.
Roy explained that with the constant advances in technology, he worked with computers and machines more than people. Roy is a people person, so dealing with machines limited his ability to help his customers and took all the enjoyment from his job. Roy wanted to make sure that his current clients would be taken care of after he left, so he took extra time to make arrangements.
I arranged for everything to go down to Kathy Will at Allstate beside Albertsons. She's a great agent. She'll take good care of my customers. I refuse to leave my customers in the lurch, and like I said, it took a long time to fix it, but we fixed it.
Roy's family worked alongside him in the business, but he assured us that he would make sure everyone would have a place even after he left.
My daughter, Kimberly, just had a child. She's taken a year and a half off for maternity leave, and when she gets done with that, I will make sure that she has something to do.
The office Roy used for his Allstate business will still remain in use by Roy for his various other ventures.
I am keeping this office. As everybody knows, I have many enterprises, and I need a place to take care of my family trust business. I need to take care of the airport business. There's a lot of things that I need to take care of. So I'm going to keep this office. I'm going to make it a private office. It'll be a man cave. It'll be fun.
Even though Roy is stepping down from insurance, he's not retiring altogether. He hopes to try his hand at real estate.
Well, I'm going to go into the real estate business. I'm not going to work myself into the ground, but I've been putting people together for 30 years. I just thought it was time to get paid for it. My customers love me. Hopefully they'll come see me.
But before Roy gets down to business, he's heading for warmer climates and some fun down in Mexico.
Yeah, my first thing I'm doing, I'm going to Mexico next week. I'm going to go down with the chef. I'm going to stay with the chef. He's got a 4,500 square foot house on the beach. We're going to cook paella at his restaurant and eat and drink for a week, and then I'll come back and think about life.
When Roy returns, he plans to be even more involved in the community than before, now that he's free from the restraint of a desk.
You'll see me everywhere. Now that I don't have to be stuck behind a desk in the back of my office, you'll see me everywhere.
If you're an Allstate customer and you'd like to get in contact with Kathy Wheel, you can contact 775-751-8228. We're wishing Roy good luck in his retirement. This is Caitlin Boyer reporting for News 46.
Okay, we're done.
A local man has been arrested following a domestic dispute. The Nye County Sheriff's Office surrounded the Dandelion Apartments on November 19th for what was reported as a domestic battery by strangulation in progress. The suspect was said to be inside the apartment complex at the time. According to the report, deputies were dispatched to a domestic. Upon arriving, they discovered a female victim reporting that she had been beaten up by Jeremiah House. Deputies say she reported that she had been punched in the side of her face and then he put her in a chokehold. Police say there were marks on the victim's body consistent with her account of what had occurred. The Nye County Sheriff's Office detectives located Jeremiah House at Draft Picks on Highway 160 later that day. He was taken into custody on the following charges: domestic battery by strangulation. 31-year-old Jeremiah Adam House was transported to the Nye County Sheriff's Office Detention Center. This is Deanna ODonnell for News 46.
All right, we'll have more Your Local News when we return.